Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I would like to introduce myself. My name is Muhammad Hafiz Ansyari. I am a student from University. My MPN is 192100073. And today and tonight, I would like to answer some midterm tests from Mr. Ipra Ramadan. So the first question: what are phonemes, syllable, phrase, and intonation? And give some example of it. Phoneme is in any language we can identify a small number of regularly used sounds like a vowel and consonant. For example, the vowel in the word fin and pen are different phonemes, and so are the consonants at the beginning of the word pet and bat. Uh, let's go for the example of syllable. Syllable is the rest of the course goes on the look at a larger unit of speech. For example, recycle. Recycle is equal to 3 syllable. Handphone is also equal to 2 syllable, 2, and many others. Express, which could be roughly described as an example as the relative strength of syllable. As the relative strength of syllable as an example of phrase, consider the difference between the pronunciation of contract as a noun, like the word, like the sentence is they sign a contract. And also there's a verb, the verb of contract, like the sentence is start to the contracted, and the intonation is the use of pitch of the voice to convey meaning. A possible example of would be the different pitch movement on the word well said as an explanation and as a question. In the first case, the pitch will usually fall high to low, while in the second it will rise low to high. Second question: what are accent and dialect? Give two examples each. The first one is language. Language have a different accent. They are pronounced differently by people from different geographical place, from different social classes, or different ages and different educational background. For example, British English and American English. And the second one is dialect. We use the word dialect to refer a variety of a language which is different from other, not just in pronunciation, but also in such matter as vocabulary, grammar, and word order. For example, are British and Swedish. Go to the third question. What is RP? Receipt pronunciation usually known to initial RP, but the name is old-fashioned and misleading. The use word received to mean accepted, and approved is nowadays very rare, and the word is used in the same sense to imply that other action would not be acceptable or approved of. Let's go for the question number 4. What is the articulator? The articulator is a way of pronunciation and sound produced through esophagus and mouth. Question number 5. What is the articulatory phonetic? As we know, we have a large and complex set completion of muscles that can produce in the shape of vocal tract, and in order to learn how the sound of speech are produced, it is necessary to become familiar with the different parts of the vocal tract. These different parts are called articulators, and the study of them is called articulatory phonetics. We have the question number 6. Explain the 7 articulators. The first one is called the pharynx. It's a tube which begins just above the larynx. It is about 7 centimeters long in women and about 8 centimeters in men. And in its top end, it is divided into two. One part being the oral cavity and the other being the beginning of the way through the nasal cavity. If you look in your mouth open, you can see the back of the pharynx. The second one is called the soft palate or phlegm. It's seen in the diagram is a position that allows air to pass through the mouth. Yours is probably in the position now, but often in speech it is raised so that air cannot escape through the nose. The other important thing about the soft palate is that it is one of the articulatory that can be touched by the tongue. When we have make the sound K, G, the tongue is in contact with the lower side of the soft palate, and we call them velar consonants. The third one is called hard palate. It often called the roof of the mouth. You can feel its smooth curved surface with your tongue. A consonant made with the tongue close to the hard palate is called palatal. The sound in yes is palatal. The fourth one is the alveolar ridge. It is between the top front teeth and the hard palate. You can feel its shape with your tongue. Its surface is really much rugged than it feels, and it's covered with a little ridge. You can only see this if you have a mirror small enough to go inside your mouth, such as those used by dentists. The fifth one is the tongue. It is very important articulator, and it can be moved into many different places and different shapes. It is usual to divide the tongue into different parts. True, there are no clear dividing lines within its structure. The tongue on a larger scale, with each part shown tip, blade, front, back, and root. This use of the word front often seems rather strange at first. The sixth one is the teeth, upper and lower, are usually shown in the diagram only the front of the mouth. Immediately behind lips. This is for the sake of simple diagram, and you should remember that is the most speakers have teeth to their side of their mouth. Their mouth back, almost to soft palate. The tongue is in contact with the upper side teeth for most speech sound. Sound made with the tongue touching front teeth, such as English, are called dental. And the second one, which is the last, is the lips. Are important in speech. They can be pressed together when we produce the sound B, 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 brought into contact with the teeth as in F, U, or rounded to produce the lip shape profile like U. Sounds in which the lips are in contact with each other are called labiodental. Begin to the question number 7. Explain the three other articulators. The first one is the larynx, could also be described as articulatory of very complex and independent one. The second one is the jaws. The jaws are sometimes called articulators. Certainly we mark the lower jaw a lot in speaking, but the jaws are not articulators in the same way as the others because they cannot themselves make contact with other articulators. And the third one, which is the leg, although there is practically nothing real active that we can do, the nose and nasal cavity when speaking, they are very important part of our equipment for making sound, which is sometimes called our vocal apparatus. Like the example of the word is M and. Again, we cannot really describe the nose and the nasal cavity as the articulators in the same way. Question number 8. What is the difference between vocal and consonant? If we say the difference between vocal and consonant is a difference in the way that they are produced, there will inevitably be some cases of uncertainty or disagreement. This is a problem that cannot be avoided. To the question number 9. Explain what do open mean, loose mean, front, central, back, and quadrilateral mean. Cardinal vowel number 1 has the symbol E and is defined as the vowel which is as loose and as front as it is possible to make vowel without structuring the flow of air enough to produce friction. Noise, friction noise is the hissing noise sound that can hear in the consonant, like S or F. Cardinal vowel number 5 has the O and is defined as the most open and back vowel that it is possible to make. Cardinal vowel number 8 U is fully closed and back number 4 A is fully open and front. After establishing their extreme point, it is possible to put in intermediate point vowel number 2, 3, 6, and 7. Now you are familiar with this extra vowel you have you have mentioned as mentioned above. Learn a way of describing as if comparing vowel, or we can say that English vowel A is not as often as cardinal vowel. Now for the question number 10. Explain about the lip shape position. Although the lips can have many different shapes and positions, we will at this stage consider only three possible. These are: the lips can have many different shapes and positions. The first one is rounded, where the corners of the lips are brought toward each other. The lip pushed forward. This is most clearly seen in cardinal vowel number 8, U. The second one is spread, with the corners of the lips move away from each other. As for a smile, this is most clearly seen in cardinal vowel number 1, E. And the third one is neutral, where the lips are not noticeably rounded and spread. The noise most English people make when they are hesitating, with written like er, has the neutral lip position. And the last one is question number 7. Explain about short vowel, long vowel, diphthong, and diphthong. Short vowel is only relatively short as we call. Well, a short vowel can have quite different length in different contexts. The symbol of the short vowel are E, A, O, U. Long vowel is the vowel which is then to be longer than the short vowel in familiar context because as we shall see later, and the length of all English vowels shown variety very much according to their. The symbol of the long vowel is E, A, O, A, U. Diphthong is a sound which consists of movement or glide from one vowel to another and are similar from the long vowel describing above. The symbol of diphthong is there are centering diphthongs E, A, U, E. The closing diphthong is A, I, Ow, I, Whoa. And the last one is diphthong. Diphthong is the most complex English sound of the vowel type and a glide one vowel to another and then to a third, and are produced rapidly and without interruption. The symbol of diphthong is A plus E, air. I plus E, I. Oi plus E, oil. Ow plus E, ear. Ow plus E, ua. And that is that's the question that has all been answered by me, Muhammad Hafiz Ansyari. Thank you very much. I hope you listening really good. My apologies if there's some mistaken from my answer. Thank you very much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.